Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Hope you are having a fantastic day. It is a little chilly out, 32 degrees, but it is a warm chilly, if that makes sense, mainly because the sun is out right now, so it's not as frigid as it would be if, let's say, the sun was gone and it was cloudy like it's been for the last week. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about the 2022 C8R, and in today's video we are going to go over the full spec window sticker, MSRP, and the number of the 1000 made. What number is this C8R? From there we're going to talk about insurance coverage, so I'll go over all the coverage that I have and how much that costs per year. The question that everyone always asks is, what is the monthly payment? So we're going to go over that. You can compare it with the 2020 payment video that I did almost a year ago now. And lastly, I'll go over the one question that I've been getting asked the most, whether it's on the forums, whether it's on Instagram, or it's in the comments section, and that is, what did I end up getting for my 2020 C8 Corvette after a full year of ownership and almost 7,000 miles? So right off the bat, this car starts off as a 3LT, so you can freeze frame the video right here. You'll see this comes with just about all the options that you can get on top of the 1LT and 2LT trim levels. For the most part, the 3LT gives you a lot of technology. That's really what drives up the price. You get the camera system and you get the PDR and the GT2 seats and a lot of standard equipment that you would have to option up in the 2LT and 1LT trims. The base price on a 3LT is right around $73,000, and then you add in the C8R package, which it looks like it's $6,595. And with the C8R, there's not a lot of options. You get hypersonic gray or accelerate yellow. In this case, I went with yellow. I think it's a brighter color. I think it films much better than the red did and what the hypersonic gray would film. And if you spec out the exact same accelerate yellow 3LT Z51 with all these options like the accessory wheels and the cover that it comes with, you actually end up coming out to almost the exact MSRP price that the C8R package gives you. So it's a no-brainer that these special allocation packages end up jumping the line like they did with the C8R. They front-loaded production of the C8R in November, and most C8Rs that were ordered have already been produced and handed off to the customer. A little of what the C8R package gets you, the biggest thing is you get the Trident spoke wheels in finished black. You get the carbon flash metallic side mirrors, and the high wing comes standard with the C8R as well. And then you get a lot of little things like the black lug nuts, the decals. There's a custom plaque between the driver and passenger seat that marks that this is a C8R and what number out of 1000 it is, and some other Jake logo added accessories that are splattered throughout the car. The next big action item is for $6,345, and I swear this is a lot more expensive than it was on the 2020 Corvette that I had. You get the Z51 package, and then obviously, me being me, for $2,260 and $1,895 respectively, I went ahead and added in the front lift system, which again, I hope I don't have any issues like this with like I did with the 2020 Corvette, and then mag ride for a better ride quality on this. Throw in the engine appearance package for $995, and if you don't get the convertible, then I think the engine appearance package just dresses up the a lot better. And because the C8R edition package pays homage to the actual C8R GTLM race cars, you can only get it in accelerate yellow or hypersonic gray, which they charge you $500 for since it's a premium paint color. And so adding all that up, the total MSRP on this vehicle is a cool $92,830, which now this makes it the most expensive vehicle that I have ever bought for myself or the channel. But again, Copeland Chevrolet and Hyannis was fantastic, and not only did I get MSRP on this vehicle, I learned a nifty little trick to try to get the most dollar out of your trade-in, which I'll share a little later in the video. And as you can see here, we are number 379 of 1000 for the C8R editions. And so in terms of insurance, I made the video about the 2020. I expected that car's insurance to be low, and it kind of was. It was actually shockingly low. But I figured as time progressed and repair costs started factoring in, totaled cost starts factoring in, insurance companies will slowly figure out that the replacement cost for these vehicles is very expensive. And I would have expected an insurance increase going from a 2020 to a 2022, but surprisingly, I actually got an insurance cut. And since people didn't believe me in the last video when I gave them the price, I actually have my insurance paperwork here with me. So you can see here, vehicle 1 is the F350, vehicle 2 is the Ram 1500 TRX, and vehicle 3 is the 2020 Chevrolet Corvette. In terms of coverage options, I like to go with the full amount of coverage, get everything that you can get under the sun. And now I do know some people that pay significantly less than what I pay by a couple $100s, but for me, I don't understand why anybody would get a C8 Corvette that's a $100,000 vehicle and drive around with the $50,000 bare minimum coverage that the state requires. And so naturally I've maxed out my coverage, and still this number is absolutely insane. So you get a little 2-for-1 special here. You can see I paid $592 for the F350, $1,080, so it's gone down from the first year when I got the TRX, and $1,150 is what I pay for the C8 Corvette. And so obviously a lot factors into that, like driving record, driving history, where you're insuring the vehicle, the zip code of the town actually makes a difference as well. But it's crazy to think that $1,150 insures this vehicle full coverage. If somebody hits me and I'm not at fault, then I'm fully covered. If God forbid I hit somebody and the car gets totaled, and I'm fully covered. I know somebody that has a C8 Corvette. They've talked about it. They've posted it on the forums that their insurance is almost half of what mine is, but they don't have collision coverage. Meaning if somebody hits them and their car gets totaled, like in this case my C8 would get totaled and somebody hits me and I didn't have collision, then the other person's insurance will cover the damages or the repairs or the loss on the vehicle. But if I got into an accident and I didn't have collision, I get nothing. And so I don't understand why somebody would ever buy a C8 Corvette or any expensive vehicle and not get collision. And for a couple $100, I'd rather have the peace of mind. So $1,150 is well worth it to insure this car for a full year. You guys have a good idea now what the window sticker on this car is, $92,000, $93,000. The last Corvette was $81,000, and so you can see we took a $9,000 jump, but I made up the entire $9,000 difference in trade-in. What the dealership allowed me to do was take the vehicle to auction, so they ended up actually taking it to ACV, and what it got for auction is what they gave me for trade-in. And because of how crazy this market is, I ended up getting $89,900, almost $90,000 for the C8 Corvette, after owning it for a full year and putting 7,000 miles on it. And so when you do all the math, the difference surprisingly is I ended up not having to pay really any sales tax. It was like $100 or so for like the couple $1,000 difference. Dealer fees and stuff add up. And no, I didn't really make the $9,000 on the 2020 C8 because cost of ownership is a factor. And plus I had about $5,000 worth of paint protection film and ceramic coating done to the vehicle. So I recouped 100% of what that car cost me to own for a year and rolled in the equity into this car. So effectively moving up 2 model years, and if you watch my last video about monthly payments, my payment actually came down on this car compared to the last one. There's only so little of this paper that I can show, but my payment is $930, and $935 is if I'm late by a couple days or a week or whatever their late payment is, but $930. So it's amazing to think that for $930 a month, I can get to drive around this car now for another year and probably break even a year later. Factor in inflation, factor in increases in the base price. Now the 2020 to the 2022, you saw a couple $1,000s of increases to the base price, plus a couple $1,000s of increases spread out over a various amount of options. And so a lot of that works in favor of me as the buyer, but it's amazing to think that I was able to trade in and salvage sales tax, since when I'm trading in, the abatement transfers over, and I get to pick this car up at MSRP. My payment comes down a couple $100s a month, and I move up 2 model years, 7,000 miles less, from a 2LT to a 3LT, and from a regular Stingray to a limited production count C8R. And the only way that's possible is if you're A, really lucky, and B, you're working with a really good dealership, which Copeland Chevrolet in Hyannis, Massachusetts, truly fantastic people. So I think that's everything. We've gone over the insurance, the monthly payment, the spec, what I got for the old Corvette, and I think that's all I have for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. If you have not already, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And just like that, I appreciate all the love and support from all the subscribers and viewers that I get. And until the very next video, I look forward to seeing all of you in the comment section below.